The importance of unpacking some of the things that we have lived through in childhood is for the sake that our adult relationships will go better with ourselves, with the people we love, with friends, neighbors, people in the community, and especially God. Because if we have this idea that God's out to squash us like a bug underneath his thumb, which is what I thought forever, then you're going to struggle. And I really want to help a lot of people out in understanding that you can't compare the beginning of your process of recovery to somebody that's already walked 20 years in it. Okay? It's not good to compare anyway, because you're always going to see what it is that you lack. And when we hope for something, when we hope for healing, when we hope to really have a steady, consistent amount of joy in our life, we have to understand that if relief is all we want, if the goal is to just get inside and dig out the problem and uproot it and get on to something else, then we're going to start having that boomerang effect where suddenly the very thing that you wanted becomes an idol. It becomes the focus, and therefore all your wheels are spinning because everything, all hope is going into this absolute I need to get healed ideology, and then you're deferred. And your heart will suffer with sickness. It's going to be the resentment. It's going to be the bitterness. It's going to be what has you take it all the way back to, well, my parents didn't treat me very well, so that must mean that big parent in the sky doesn't have good intention for me either. And all of this just needs to be redirected because I know how hard recovery is, okay? Little T trauma is going to be that everyday, dismissal or slights that's spoken to you. Maybe name calling is one of those issues. I know that when we don't get our needs met, we are constantly looking and starving for love and affection outside of our home. And so therefore, pretty much whatever the parents teach us, we're going to toss out anyway because they're not really stable, nor are they trustworthy. This is a big issue where a lot of authority problems come in and then the kids get deemed rebellious, but pretty much we're taking in our surroundings like sponges when we're children. So I say, through osmosis is some of our rebellion made. Okay, so that can also manifest in physicality. So by the time, say, most of us have gone through big T trauma, which is going to be those bigger blows like abuse, it's going to be some kind of natural disaster or estrangement, abandonment, then we're not going to play nice with others so well when people can look at us and suddenly see an adult person in front of them and they're not understanding why they're responding like a child. So basically, we get seized in the brain and parts of us have to come in and put us on autopilot. And so you got parts that are like, we have to be healed at all costs. Otherwise, we might die. And all of this is a mental, emotional connection. It's also the reason why Western medicine has failed us quite a bit because they just want us to pop a pill. And most of the things that keep our physicalities anchored are going to have an emotional onset back in those times of either little t or big T trauma. So I myself know how hard it is because every day for 2 decades, I was trying to fix myself and, perform. And I tried everything known to man. And then, my heart was sick because everything that I trusted through faith, through the doctors, it all was lame and nothing panned out to be that sustainable healing that I needed. And then I turned to IFS therapy, and for myself, I had to start working with all these individual parts because so many emotions go into seeing one memory that parts of me walked away with different narratives. It's kind of like if you have 2 siblings that are witnessing something tragic, they both walk away with 2 different stories. That can cause feuding. It can also cause alliances to the parents. So if we have that going on in our own families, we have the same rivalry going on inside of us. And the point of getting back to the basics of understanding how many emotional parts were present when we witnessed something or when we suffered something, each one of them basically has to have an understanding and unpacking of why it tries to still continue to help you today in adulthood. It is possible, but it is not easy. And I wish I could just, give everybody the magic wand that said, oh my gosh, now everything's going to be honky-dory because you have Jesus. But it isn't that. It's an invitation once you get Jesus to then take all of this need for inner healing one by one and apply it to every single part inside of you.